Hi traders, welcome to the live webinar with Elite CurrenSea. My name is Chris Svorcik, and we're going to talk about what's going on with ECS and our automated trading and manual trading analysis, etc. I wanted to dedicate this particular webinar to you, let you decide what to discuss. I have no particular topics in mind. We are 1 week out away from the first quarter finishing. So next week, I believe, let's see, 1 week from now, it's still the 30th actually. On Thursday next week, we'll be able to review the results from March. And I think we'll maybe just move our webinar from Tuesday to Thursday so we can right away review the close results of March and also right away the first quarter of all our approaches and trading methods. So yeah, that might make sense just to move that webinar from Tuesday to Thursday, the 1st of April. That's not an April Fool's Day joke. That's actually going to happen. All right. Anyhow, jokes aside, yeah, what is on your mind? Really, I have nothing dedicated to this webinar. I will probably not even upload it to YouTube. It's just informal chat between you and me. Is there any particular topic that you have in mind that you would like to ask me? Ask ECS. In the meantime, if there is anything, let me know. Of course, there are not that many attendees here live, so if you're listening, I'm talking to you because yeah, there are just about 4 of us here now at the moment. So let me know what you have interest in. Otherwise, in the meantime, I'm taking a look at my SWAT scalping EA. It's not performing as I would hope. I knew that the win rate was low at about 15%, but yeah, it didn't expect that many days that it would go down. Now, we had finally a positive day yesterday with plus 1.65%. So that's good. I'm happy to see finally a positive day. We had a positive day at the very start, 1st of March, 0.25%. The win rate is still way lower than the historical win rate. Backtesting, we saw 15%. You can see here it's about 7.5. So yeah, this is not convincing me yet to invest real money. This is a demo account, but of course I'm going to wait for the end of the month. In backtesting, results at the end of the month were sometimes negative. Let's take a look at the backtesting here. It had an average of 8.4% in a month. So last month was also quite negative with minus 13. I'm not sure if there's something going on this and last month that have changed the results. But as you can see, year before the worst was minus 4.7. Before that, minus 7.5, minus 1, minus 3, minus 3, 2.5, minus 4.5, minus 3, minus 4, and nothing. So definitely this minus 13 and the current minus 15 are quite exceptions compared to the historical trend. So I don't know if that's just a drawdown or something has changed. I would still think it's a drawdown if it's limited to 2 months, for instance. But yeah, I still want more data. I might start with real life trading in April if I see this improve a little bit at least, and it ends up as minus 10 rather than continuing to go down. If it continues to go down to minus 20, I will probably wait for more demo trading first. If I do start with live trading, I will start with a smaller amount than I originally had in mind. I wanted to start with 10K, but if last month and this month is negative, I'll probably start with something way smaller if I start with real money in the first place. So let's see. Still a couple of days left. Regarding markets, I guess we can take a look quickly. Your dollar did move up and bounced at the 78, broke above the 20-way, did make a dash up, but ultimately not able to break above the 61.8 fib here. Bouncing there with strong momentum. So I think that this strength of this momentum is changing things. Specifically, this candle here would be a little bit worried. I mean, cautious with the upside now. I think that this is significantly changing the perspectives of, and might be looking more bearish. Also, pound USD broke the fractal and the trend line, indicating a bearish breakout and invalidating my bullish analysis. So that is certainly changing perspective. Now we are getting already, the funny thing is with the break behind us, we already are getting quite close to some of the targets I mentioned, actually 137.50, not fully there yet, but getting close to it. But I think it could go further down. If this is an ABC zigzag, I think it should. If we put the fib here, it should go down lower. Maybe bounce at 137.50 back to 138.10. But then continue lower as we retest the previous support and fall down to 136.60, which is with 7 and minus 272 confluence there. And even not further down to 135, where there's Wiz 8 and minus 61.8. Ultimately, it looks like wave A was already completed and the wave B earlier completed than I expected, because here I thought that the wave B would still expand with another push up. With this break, that's out of the window. That was incorrect. And the break is telling us that. And the bearish breakout now making it more likely that the wave B is finished rather than still ongoing, and we're in a wave C down. That wave C could go far. So table has flipped. Odds have flipped. This bearish candle on the 4-hour chart here, the 1-hour candle, all confirming that we're in a downtrend continuation, now in a wave C down. Out goes the bullish wave B scenario. That can happen. And I guess if you follow my euro dollar pound dollar video, I don't know what you personally think, but I guess about 2/3 of the cases it's more or less pretty much accurate, and about 1/3 of the cases, there are certainly some cases where roughly it goes, or maybe, I don't know, half of those third, it's roughly correct but not exactly, and then half of the third is it just goes in a different way, and that can definitely happen. I don't know, these percentages are just a rough guess. I don't know, maybe other people would think less less accurate, others might think more accurate. I have no idea. I'm just trying to make a realistic guess of myself, and of course I have a bias, so I might be totally wrong on that. But anyhow, yeah, so this is bearish. I think therefore your dollar most likely to fall. It hasn't broken yet, but certainly the strength of that price falling is changing perspectives, and probably that break will happen too. And this is this could just be wave 1, 2, 3, and this is a wave 4, but funky wave 4. But maybe the ABC zigzag is finished. The wave C didn't break the previous top, which is really a bit odd, and that kind of threw me off, at least. I think could throw a lot of people off. And this small little peak here that did break for a higher high could be a wave 5, kind of a truncated wave 5. It's really a bit sneaky, a little bit sneaky, but okay. It's possible that the ABC zigzag maybe completed there very early, and that we're looking at a wave 1, 2, and now a wave 3 of a bigger wave 5. That does seem more and more likely. Euro dollar doesn't have to follow the pound dollar, but there is a higher and higher chance that it will. At this moment, I wouldn't think that there's, it's not a great spot at all, because it's too close to support. But if it makes a pullback into 119.20-ish, and then you can basically wait for a breakout below 118.70, I think. Let's see, Jane's question about sharing the slides is answered by Richard, I think. Thank you both first of all, they're not slides, so I can't share slides. I'm actually sharing a live screen, so there are no slides to share there. But let's see. Richard is saying, yes, you can indeed just use the same link when the webinar is over. The same Crowdcast link that we're using for this webinar, it will actually show the replay of the live event afterwards, or most of the time, this webinar is uploaded to YouTube as well, our YouTube channel. But Richard also has a different technical solution for Zoom meetings, apparently. Roger, no changes in the EA. It is doing much better, indeed, the last 5 weeks. And we were quite unlucky, actually, with 5 of the last trades that ended up plus minus for break even, because all 5 were very close to target. And if they would have hit target, the account would have grown quite substantially. So we're up last month. We're up this month. This month is not closed yet. I think it's plus 20%. But if those 5 trades would have not been that unlucky, the profit would have been substantially more. I can make a rough estimate there, but I suspect another 20 to 25%. So we would have been up to close maybe to 40 to 50%, I think. But that's what happens. Can't be perfect. Targeting can sometimes just miss by a few pips. That's what happens. So at least we're up. At least things are looking better. But no differences are made. There's no changes have been made to the EA. The break even, in this case, the trades were moved to break even, but that's according to the rules that are the same rules as in the past. It's just that in this case, they were moved to break even because we were within a few pips, and then we moved to break even. That rule has existed ever since we traded the EA. So that's the same. It's just when in the past, the trades were further away from the target, not a few pips from the target, and therefore the trades were not moved to break even. In this case, they were just a few pips, and that's why we had that trade management change. So that's the reason. Anything else on one's mind? The dollar strength is affecting cryptos too. We saw Bitcoin falling lower here, back to the previous bottom. Question is, will this 53 zone, the previous bottom, hold? Is this just an ABC correction, or will it break for maybe retest of the previous wave 4 down at 48.50K, maybe even 46K? I am more likely to say that this is a bouncing spot, and the ABC is completed here at the 144 EMA, or maybe at 52K. That's my personal opinion, though. I think the trend is a bit too strong at this moment, at this particular point in time, but let's see. Stock markets have been up to DAX and US 300 going up after the ABC completed. Check out our analysis, of course, for up-to-date. Pound yen also made a higher high as expected. It has been falling down after that, but Euro New Zealand, mentioned that today, also making a nice push up as expected. Apple stock, mentioned that one last week, that there could be a head and shoulders left, inverted head and shoulders, left shoulder head, right shoulder so far. That's playing out pretty nicely. Bounce at 120 or 119.50, up a few dollars now. That's just a few percent, I guess, but still better than nothing. Some ideas for myself. Okay, I see no other questions. Really, nothing new from our side this week. We'll be back next week, Thursday, with a more interesting webinar because we'll be looking at the monthly results of March on Thursday, the 1st of April. So looking forward to doing that. See you then and there, and wish everyone great trading. Cheers. Bye-bye.